Hello, YouTube community. Welcome back to Robscure Music. And in today's video, I want to show you some of the more unusual type of album covers that I have. Now, I don't necessarily mean the images on the albums. What I'm talking about is the packaging itself and how it's different than your typical album cover. I'm talking about, fold outs and laser cut type of albums, zippers, lenticular covers, things like that. So there are plenty of them out there. Um, some like, let's say, for example, Alice Cooper's Schools Out. That album actually opened up into like a desk, and the album opened up as if you had the old-fashioned type of desk in the school where the students would open up the desk like a lid, and there'd be things inside you could keep inside. Anyway, there's that. There's the Rolling Stones have some. Melanie was always good for having unusual type of album covers. But to further sort of explain what I mean, I want to show you your typical type of album cover. This is split ends, and you got a front and you've got a back. No gatefold or anything. And even gatefolds, a gatefold is typically just, it opens up and there are more images inside. There may be lyrics to the songs, things like that. And then, you've got an inner sleeve. Sometimes it's plain white, could be, different types of inner sleeves. This one happens to be a paper sleeve with images of the band. But what I like about this particular album, and the reason I picked this, is because I think it's kind of cool to show the album itself, the vinyl. And look at that. It's etched. It's funky. It's, like sparkling in the light. You got kind of a disco ball thing going on there. So there are plenty of other etched albums. This is one of the first ones I can remember. And I like it, So I thought, well, if I got to show a regular type of album cover, I'm going to show this one because it gives me an opportunity to show off the etched vinyl, which I think is really cool. But what I'm talking about are different things, like, for example, this one. This is the Grassroots, and this is the ABC collection. So it's a compilation. And here is where it's a little different. The back actually opens up almost like an envelope. And you pull it out from the top as opposed to the side. And as you're pulling out the record, you'll see that the image vanishes because this is cut out. So it's got kind of two things going on for it here. You've got the cutout and you've got the flap that closes up the album. So that's a little different than your usual album. John Lennon, Walls and Bridges. Very famous image there of John. And this is cool because you've got these flaps that open up. There's one there. If I can get it. There's another one here. You get your image of John. And of course, there are more images of John inside. And we've got the Raspberries, side 3. Now here you got the whole album that's cut to look like raspberries. What else? Like produce you'd find in the grocery store. Both the front and the back. And this actually opens up as well. So you see exposing, if you will, a record there. Of course, it's not really a record. You got more raspberries, one on a spoon. You've got some whipped cream. So delicious, as is the music. Randy Sharp. This is his album, The First in Line, on Nautilus Recordings. And it's a styrofoam album cover. And if I can get this open, I will show you. There's the record in styrofoam. Suitable for floating in the bathtub, I guess. I think I mentioned Melanie before. The Good Book. And of course, it's a gatefold. Melanie likes gatefolds, so we got quite a few of those. But you've also got a little booklet here that fits right into these tabs. And yes, it's a little booklet with some images and lyrics and Melanie on the back. Cute as a button. So that slips right back into there. Easier said than done, maybe. All right, there we go. And so that's, again, a little bit different than what you typically would see. Then we've got another Melanie. And this is, I believe, a comp. And what's unusual about this one is it opens up with a flap here on the side. And then you've got all kinds of stuff going on here. It opens up this way, and this way, and this way. And then I believe you can flip this up, and I think that might be it. Yeah, the records are on the other each end, so you can't do much with that. But you do have a couple images of Melanie here as well. She looks sickly over here in the green one. I'm just kidding. I love Melanie. All right, here's another one that's going to be hard to show. Black Moses, Isaac Hayes. And I say hard to show because it opens up too wide for this. So we got back cover. And then this, like I said, opens up this way and this way. And like this. And you can see what's coming. Oops. And I forgot to take the album out. That would have helped. And then again. So you've got a great big image here of Black Moses, Isaac Hayes. And here's the image on the other side. So once again, pretty innovative packaging. Next, I'm going to show you another sort of cutout album. And this is Foreigner Records. This is their greatest hits. Cold as Ice, Feels Like the First Time, Head Games, Double Vision, they're all on here. So this too is a gatefold. But when you take the album out and the inner sleeve comes out, you'll see you got cutouts here. So you put that back in, and there are all the songs like it's a jukebox, a Foreigner jukebox. All it plays is Foreigner. And there's nothing wrong with that. Speaking of comps, Three Dog Night, Golden Biscuits. Again, you've got gatefold, but you've also got if I can get it, another fold out. So you got a little bit of a poster there of the singers, primary singers for Three Dog Night. We've got another one that is a little different. Bobby Sherman, Greatest Hits. And there's Bobby on the cover. And there's Bobby again, and again, and again, and again. So, all kinds of Bobby Shermans here. And let me show you this one. It's also a little bit of a similar type of image. Donna Summer. This is Live and More. And yes, it folds out and down like that. And you got Donna again there. And it opens up like this with even more images. So pretty nifty there. Nifty is not a word I use too often. I've got Rare Earth in Concert. I picked this up a couple months ago, maybe 2 months ago, and I think I showed this in my new finds, if you will, my what I call Let's Get Physical media. And what I like about this is it opens up like kind of opening like a backpack. And of course, everything will come right out of the top. It's a 2-record set, and there's, I think, a poster in there as well. So there's a lot to package in this. The Four Seasons, the genuine imitation Life Gazette. You got sort of a newspaper type of motif here on the album. And of course, and this is, I think this might be the first one that was kind of like that newspaper idea. Certainly it preceded the John Lennon Sometime in New York City album. And of course, it opens up more articles and whatnot. Of course, none of these are real stories. And you've got right here the Beatles with the Maharishi. And he's playing the sitar. And it opens up opens up a second time. First, second. And you've got a little I Want You, U.S. Army. Got a little magazine in here. And I'm not going to show you all the images. Some cartoons, much like your newspaper would have. And of course, a grocery store ad. And look what they've got. Elvis Parsley, only 79 cents. We've got Chocolate covered Beetles, $1.08 a pound. Electric Prunes, 98 cents. Country Joe's Fish, canned heat, fresh cream, vanilla fudge, Moby grapes. Very clever, very clever. Next, Jethro Tull, stand up. And it's not just a gatefold, but it's a pop-up. So they actually stand up. You don't see that too often in your usual album. The Beatles never did that. And I've got the Bee Gees, Odessa. And what's cool about this one is, and you can probably tell already, it's like a textured sort of velvet album, front and back. So again, pretty different, not your usual album. And then the last one I want to show, and I think I may have mentioned zippers before, the Rolling Stones, Sticky Fingers, with the image of the jeans with the zipper. Now you've seen the album before. You've seen the LP. I'm showing you the disc, the CD with the zipper. So let's pull this out of here if we can. And there it is. And yes, there's a plastic here to protect it. But this is actually a working zipper on a CD. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay well, friends. And remember, if the music strikes a chord, let it play.